Hello world, my name is Dana ID Matthews and this is my reviews about stuff episode 4. In the modern day world, lawyers don't have a good reputation in general, often seen as soul-sucking, immoral type people who will persecute or defend anybody as long as they get a good paycheck, which they will because we all know lawyers ain't cheap. Well, I have a game for you, a Japanese game where you play a defense lawyer who will only represent you if he thinks you're innocent. And in this sense, you get to feel more like a superhero and less like a money sucking vampire. So, without further ado, here's my review on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for the Nintendo DS. Now, the first thing you notice in this game is its gameplay. Why? Well, because basically there is none. Not in the traditional sense, anyways. You don't get to move your characters around. You can't talk to any random NPCs. You can't go into people's houses and break their vases for rubies. You play the game by exploring multiple still image maps, doing your best to identify potential clues and or incriminating evidence at and or around the scene of a crime. So whether it's a town, inside a house, or laboratory, or park, you're always interacting with a still image, clicking on just about everything, trying to see if Mr. Lawyer can find some sort of use for whatever it is that you found in court. And in that sense, not only are you a lawyer, but one hell of a detective. So you might as well be Batman at the same time. But there is no fighting in this game, unfortunately. No, not unfortunately, because peaceful games are awesome and fun too. And there are a shit ton of fighting games already. So, yeah, going back to what I was saying, you also run into quite a few NPC characters, never random though. They always feel like, they're obviously there on purpose, always part of the developing story, but each character is usually fleshed out pretty well. Of course, every person is almost an over exaggeration of what you would normally see in real life. But it's that over exaggeration that gives them that charm that adds to their longevity in the game, because oftentimes characters make a return in the courtroom from when you were doing your investigation. And speaking of the courtroom, this is where all the action starts in this game, the lawyer action. I should probably say this ahead of time. If you're not a big fan of reading dialogue, then straight up, you're probably not going to like this game. It's extremely text heavy. Like the whole game is text. It depends on developing an intriguing murder mystery through shared dialogue between characters. So if you're not ready for it or just simply, it isn't your thing, you have been warned now. Now back to the courtroom. As I was saying, Phoenix Wright really shines in the courtroom. Those familiar with this game and even some who don't might be able to recognize his signature courtroom moves. Hold it, objection. Here, listen.
Hold it! Objection! Take that!
This is where things get interesting. With all the investigating you did, you now have to cross-examine multiple witnesses, proving your client's innocence, and finding the true murderer to your case. And doing this is not as easy as it sounds. Don't get me wrong. There are parts that are easy. The person on the witness stand is always lying in some sort of way, and it's up to you to figure out how with all the tools that you've acquired up till now. And sometimes it's super obvious. And other times, at least for me, you get stuck pondering for hours or days. One of those games where it's hard forever, and then one day you just get it and it's obvious again. Very frustrating, but in a fun way. It's a logic game. You're presented with items and dialogue that you discover along the way as you investigate. You find who or what's missing, fill in the blanks, and you have your murder. It's a unique gaming formula that's made a nice little niche market for itself. And for people like me who enjoy being intellectually stimulated, it's tons of fun and beneficial to your brain. I don't have much to say that's negative about the game. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney is not like other games, and it doesn't try to be, which is why, in my opinion, it's as popular and niche as it is. It would be nice to see a few more mechanics, added that were engaging gameplay wise. And I can't think of how, but there are other Phoenix Wright games that have added more things that I haven't played yet. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll make reviews about that then. All right. So with all that said, I give Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney my official rating of 8 out of 10. It's a solid, good game. Of course, like I said, it's niche, so it has its own thing going on. But if you like it, you're really gonna like it. And if you don't, whatever, you'll move on and play some Call of Duty or something. But yeah, so that's it for me. My name is Dana ID Matthews. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you next week. Peace out.